Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Don't mind me. I just like doing this to my hair. How you doing? How your mama and them doing? How everybody doing? Y'all been stressing less and drinking more water? I surely hope so. So something is on my mind right now, and it's about Cam Newton and Caresha Brownlee, better known as Young Miami. Now, over here on this channel, we do not discriminate on what caliber or what kind of woman. Because we all know what kind of woman Young Miami is. That's none of my business. I grew up in the hood. I done seen all kind of women. I done had friends of different type of women. And I'm big on, I don't care how a woman move in the world. When it comes to sex and romantic relationships, as long as she respects herself, meaning her body, she's clean, she ain't giving out nothing, and she ain't getting nothing. Excuse me. Either way, she should be respected just because she's a woman and a human being. If she ain't out here hurting nobody on purpose or hurting nobody because she got power to do it, she should be respected, right? Cam Newton, like I said before on my channel, I like watching his podcast, but Cam Newton, he is the bad bitch in his relationship, okay? Because it certainly, and I say that respectfully, because it certainly ain't his woman, okay? I don't go off that bad bitch shit. I'm not a bad bitch. I don't think no man would label me a bad bitch. I don't want to be labeled as a bad bitch. I don't carry myself as a bad bitch because a bad bitch is definitely a look. And as you can see, baby, I don't have the look. Bad bitches don't wear their hair like this, okay? But Young Miami is a bad bitch. She carry herself like a bad bitch, right? Respectfully. I don't think no woman should be saying that about herself, but to each his own. It come with the territory of the field, the industry that she's in, right? Excuse me. And so they having this conversation, and Cam says, "Oh, well, I'm a flex." Young Miami like how you the flex. That's what made me think like this man. He's the bad bitch in the relationship. I don't know what it is about men of this generation. It's like the more and more I see it, not even just on social media, just outside of social media. Because so many people like to blame social media for every fucking thing. And I always say, if social media wasn't like how it was today, people would still be like how they is. You just wouldn't see it on somebody's channel on a platform like YouTube or Vimeo or whatever, or Instagram, right? Because back then there was MySpace, right? Back then there was MySpace, and we seen all type of stuff on MySpace. It's just different times now because so much things have advanced in the world and in this country, the U.S., right? So I'm sitting thinking like, why is he saying he the flex? Did she tell him he the flex? Did his woman tell him he a flex? Maybe she told him that. Because why is he saying he the flex? It's like these men, and it's not even like what I'm observing with these men, and they said it out their own mouths. They want to be, a lot of these men want to be courted like a woman. They want to be the bad bitch in a relationship, and it's like, why y'all just can't just be a man? Wouldn't it be easier to just be yourself, just be a man? And I'm seeing that maybe it's hard. It's really hard for y'all to be a man. Like, no shade, no excuse me. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm thinking this, and be raising a son. I know it's probably gonna come a moment where he's gonna feel like, he may feel like, or he's gonna feel like it's hard being a man. Especially a man growing up in the black culture when he becomes a man. Because he's only 15, but then, he has his dad, so that's good. His dad could balance it out. But it's just weird fucking behavior. And I know to me, it's because I got an old soul too. I got an old soul and a young heart. So it's like when I hear men talk like that, it's such a fucking turnoff. When I hear men not honoring women, not respecting women, only respecting women because she so-called respects herself, that shit blows my mind too. Because I teach my son, as him still being a boy, to respect girls, even if she come off like she don't respect herself. Don't take advantage of her because she comes off like she don't respect herself. But my son ain't no mannish ass little boy. Because in the hood, we say mannish when boys are out here having sex and stuff like that. So my son ain't doing none of that shit. Please don't come up under my comments talking about oh, your son is this, your son is that. You just don't know about it. Baby, I grew up around too many men, too many women. I grew up in the hood. I grew up fast. And in our culture, when I say fast, I don't mean I grew up fast in the sense of having sex at a kid age, which I don't like when adults call little girls fast, because you don't know what she was exposed to. You don't know who violated her. You don't know who manipulated her. You don't know how she ended up having, sex at a young age like that. But when I say grow up fast, meaning I was, and many of the people who I grew up with, we were adults before we became young adults. When we were 15, we was already 18. That's just how it was with a lot of us millennials. I think a lot of millennials can relate to that. However, it's just me growing up with that generation in the household, older generation having Gen X cousins. I never heard a man speak like that. So it's just a turnoff to me. It's a turnoff to me. Even if the men don't say it, they still be acting like they want to be courted. And I'm noticing a slew of men having low self-esteem about themselves. I don't ever want my son to feel like this when he becomes an adult. That's why I always tell him to love himself, take care of himself, take care of his hygiene. Don't set boundaries, have boundaries. I give him examples. Because a lot of us ain't learned this shit coming up. And as crazy as this might sound, it's like our baby boomer generation and silent generation parents did fail the men. They did. I mean, I have a twin brother, so I have male cousins that's more than a few years younger than me that are young male adults. And even they struggle with emotions, and they're not the men of the silent and baby boomer generation. They're not those kind of men. And that's what I mean about this generation. And that's one of the reasons why it's difficult for women to find, which no woman, in my opinion, should be looking for no relationship. Okay? Being open, that's different to one, but actively looking for one with a man, I don't suggest no woman do that shit, especially in 2026. I feel like if you do that, you gon' end up getting not what you looking for. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the way the universe work, just be open and let it happen. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should be desperate or I gotta be in a relationship right now because of age. Like, I seen this one woman, she was crying on social media. I didn't watch the whole video because I'm over these videos with these women crying. And she the same age as me, and she up here crying, talking about she ain't got no kids, she not married. And I'm like, oh my God, I could never. Like, even though I got a son, I'm never sitting over here crying because I'm not in no relationship. Like, it's just not a good look for women. It's just not. not a good look for men and women, but it's just really not a good look for women. Because we do so much in relationships. We give so much of ourselves just off our own nature. So for a woman to be sitting on social media doing that, it's just certain things you just should not say out loud on social media. I'm not knocking her, because I feel like people express themselves on social media because they looking to be related to. They looking for some source of validation. I'm not gonna never knock nobody for that. But goddamn, you got to love yourself so much where that shit don't even bother you. You got to care about yourself and what you got going on in your life so much where it's not that big of a deal. It's not about, oh, well, do you want to be alone forever? It's like, some people might be okay with not being in no romantic relationships, especially when they reach certain ages, like my age and a little older. They might be okay with that, and the other people on the outside looking in need to accept that and just keep it the fuck moving, because then it becomes projection. You know what I mean? Because just because you don't feel and think like that don't mean how I feel and think is genuine. Like, if I say I don't care about being in no romantic relationship, why I gotta be lying? Why I gotta have a chip on my shoulder, or I gotta be hurt? Or like one female said to me when I told her, I'm like, listen, if you don't mess with these men, you gotta move accordingly, and you gotta know that they're going to cheat. They're more likely to cheat. Like, putting all this trust in a man, I would never do that again. Ever, ever, ever. When I say shit like that, the men get offended. The women is like, oh, not all men are like that. Yeah, here we go with that not all man shit. But it's always a man, though. You can count on that it's always a motherfucking man. But it's not all men, but it's always a man, though, right? Because it ain't no fucking woman. It's always a man, because we not talking about women dating women. We talking about women and men dating. So let's stay on subject here, right? You know, that's another thing that kills me. And then they be like, oh, they'll start assuming like they know your life. Oh, you just saying that because you got cheated on. You always got cheated on. So you just assume that I've had many romantic relationships, and each romantic relationship I had, each of those men cheated on me. Why you even assuming that I spreaded myself so thin like that with many men? And that's why I feel the way I feel. And that's why I move the way I move. Accordingly, if I'm going to deal with a man romantically. Why you think it kind of sounds misogynistic to me? Because they say women can be misogynistic too. But in my mind, I don't think that's the true nature of women being misogynistic. I think that's inherited by men. And women just end up adopting that shit because they still have these fairy tale mindsets about men. And then when I start saying I don't have a fairy tale mindset about men anymore, because I used to have this, I want to be married, and I want to be with this person for the rest of my living days, and we be in love, and we just loving and being faithful to each other and loyal to each other. Yes, I used to want all of that. That was cool, that was fine, and that's when I wanted marriage, right? Now that I know what I really want now, and I changed my mind about marriage, I don't care about none of that. That doesn't mean I don't want companionship, but on the flip side, I'm still not sad. It's called balance. Like, where's the balance? I'm just so focused on me and being a mom. It's like, if I end up in a romantic relationship, that shit gotta happen like serendipity in this bitch. Cause I'm not actively looking to be in no relationship with no man, and I haven't for years. So it's like, what are we talking about? Because at that point, you just sound misogynistic. Oh, so your daddy must have cheated on your mama then. How would I know if my dad cheated on my mom? Like, most of us didn't find out if first of all, my dad never cheated on my mom, right? And my dad, one thing about my dad, he really loved my mama. He really cared for my mama. They had an interesting relationship. They, just like any other old couple in that generation, they fought. They had their little fights, but they also had each other's back. It was not perfect at all. It wasn't an ideal relationship I would want, but what I do admire about them, they definitely had each other's back, especially when it came to me and my siblings. And even when my dad was passing away, my mom took care of my dad, you know, and my dad left my mom with all his stuff and things of that nature, but it was nowhere near, my dad was not this, what do you call that? He wasn't this Prince Charming, okay? He was a Navy vet, fucking Mason. He did 3 branches. He fought in the fucking war. My dad was fucked up mentally and emotionally. I'm just going to keep it pure 100, okay? I'm just going to keep it pure 100. So, with that being said, I've seen some shit. I've experienced some shit with men. I've learned some shit. And I've observed ever since I was a little girl about how men are. And ain't shit you could tell me. It's just on the outside looking in, when you have this fairy tale mindset as a woman, how I speak and women that speak like me, it sound like we're we got a one-track mind, or we're bitter, and it's like, baby, who mad? I'm too motherfucking cute to be sitting around here mad about a fucking man. Like, no. This ain't that. Especially at my big old age. What the fuck? So it's like, I've never been that type, you know? These are women that just don't like being with themselves. These are also women that gotta have sex all the time. Because what else would you want to be in a romantic relationship for so desperately? Sex. Take sex out the equation, then we see how much you want to be in a romantic relationship. You know what I'm saying? And when women hit me with shit like that, what they be saying, I'd be like, all right, since you think your man this and that, go to him right now and tell him, test him. Tell him you don't want to have sex for 30 days. You're on your spiritual journey. You just want y'all to connect more mentally and emotionally. Let's go 30 days without sex. See how he react then. See how he fucking react then. That's when you gonna know if he really love you on everything. Because he gonna do that shit with you. He gonna do that little time with you. He gonna do that little challenge with you. Because it's gonna be more challenging for him than for you. That's how you know he really fucking with you. Take away what you always do for a man and how you make a man feel. And this is what I said to one of the women who I was conversing with on social media. Take away whatever you do for him. I don't care if you make his lunch every motherfucking day. Stop doing it for 30 days. See how he act. Don't tell him nothing. Just stop doing it. See how he treats you then. See how he fucking treats you then. Cause I love testing just to see some shit. I guess it's that Taurus energy and that Taurus rising in me. I want to see. I want to see if you really rocking and fucking with me. See, I didn't have this mind frame when I was with my son's dad, because I had so much trust in him. And he was the only dude I wanted to be with. I always said whoever I had my children by, because once upon a time I wanted children, not just a child. Whoever I had my children by, that's who I'm with. That's who I'm with. But it ain't paying out like that. And that's one of the reasons why it ain't paying out like that, is because I decided to leave. I decided to leave. It doesn't matter if he wanted to be with me, didn't want to be with me. It didn't matter. I did it first, if that's the case. I let it go first. One of the best decisions I ever made in my motherfucking life. Because I felt like if I would have stayed in something like that, I wouldn't look this motherfucker young in my big old age. I would be even more drained. And I wouldn't be fully fulfilled in a romantic relationship. So now all that fulfillment I give to myself. And it's like, when you say stuff like that, women who still have this fairy tale mindset and who are offended, they look at it as, oh, you're lying. Oh, you hurt. Oh, you must have been cheated on by every dude you was with. And it made me think, well, damn, how many romantic relationships you was in, because you probably was cheated on and didn't know. I always say this and always thought this. Men are better cheaters than women. They're better fucking cheaters. That's why y'all could have double lives. A woman, I'm not saying it's impossible, but who the fuck know a woman that had a double life? The only way I feel like a woman could get away with that is if she has a job where she has to travel and be away from her husband for 30, 90 days at a time. Right? But men are so good at cheating and having double lives. This man can have a whole family 2 blocks away from where the fuck y'all live at, and you wouldn't even fucking know. My point is, you just should never put that much trust in no man. Ever. You shouldn't ever put that much trust in anybody but yourself. But as a woman in a romantic relationship, you should never put that much trust in a man. And men know, excuse me, when a woman trusts him the most, he can get away with more shit. He can manipulate her more, mentally and emotionally. Notice how it's difficult and harder for you to do that with a man. So many men go into marriages not fully trusting their wives. They'll never tell her that, though. They probably won't even tell their homeboys that. They'll keep that shit to themselves. So, that's all I had to say. So, y'all, take it easy. Don't forget to drink your water. Don't mind the sauce on my hand. This was a quick one. 22 minutes, whatever. I was eating some pizza. But y'all be easy. Oh, and love yourself first and foremost. Love your fucking self.